It's example 3 now. It's using the same numbers, but we are going to look at the effect of change in assumptions. And the two most important assumptions are the assumption related to the discount rate. We had assumed 6%. What if we increase the discount rate to 7%? Before you even get into the numbers, I want you to qualitatively recognize that a higher discount rate would reduce your pension obligation. Why? Because you are now discounting your future obligations at a higher rate. Since you are discounting at a higher rate, the present value is obviously going to be lower. And companies can manipulate their pension obligation by slightly increasing their discount rate. You need to be very aware of that as analysts. Does this first column look familiar? This is straight from scenario 4. And this was year 1, scenario 4. If you do this for homework, instead of using a discount rate of 6%, use a discount rate of 7%. Then notice that you will get a closing obligation for year 1 equal to 8277. Now I'll make you do the calculations. You need to pause this video and do the calculations, but just think about a couple of things. Does the end salary change? The end salary is not changing. Is the annuity changing? The payments being made to the employee? The payments being made to the employee are not changing because payments are based on the final salary. So remember we said that, so at year 5, there is a certain final salary. The payments being made are based on the final salary and the 1.5% and so on. So all the payments are staying the same. Then why is the obligation changing? It is changing because the discount rate that you are now using is higher. So even though the payments are the same, but the discount rate is higher, therefore the present value is going to be lower. That's an important point, and you should actually go through these numbers. These numbers are calculated exactly the same way that we calculated the earlier set of numbers, but only difference is in your calculator, instead of plugging in an interest rate of 6% to discount, you will now plug in an interest rate of 7%. All right, next assumption change. Do you remember this 4.75 number? This is the rate at which the salary is projected to increase. Is it conceivable that you change your assumption to say that salary increases at 5.75%? Yes. Now does the final salary change? Now final salary changes and the payments made change, but we are still discounting at 6%. So what will happen to the present value of the obligation? Now the present value of the obligation goes up. Here again, I want you to do these calculations. They are the same as what we saw in example 2, just with a higher final salary.